Do 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 Two brain cell and a mic. We're thinking out loud, but it's not too bright. Hosted by Cat and Tez, alright, it's two brain cells and a mic.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
This is Kat.
And this is Taz. Now, for those who tuned into the last episode, we took a trip to the US.
Yes. And just quickly before we get into it, we need to, first of all, apologise. There has been a little gap in between our episodes. We've taken a little bit of a break. We've just had some life stuff going on. My family pet passed away, so we've just been taking a little break. We haven't really had the time to do it, but we're back now. We're in the swing, and hopefully there won't be any more breaks between us. Also, one other thing that I have to say before we get into it as well is we have a self-proclaimed number one fan from the Facebook and Instagram world. Tony B from Perth says he's our number one fan. I'm not going to repeat everything that he told us to say. He just asked for a shout out, and then I'm not anyway. Forget the other crap. I'm not saying that. Go to hell, Tony. Tony. Jesus. Fuck it, I'm getting all my words mixed up. Yes, so quick shout out to him. Thank you so much for being our self-proclaimed number one fan. Appreciate you.
Yeah, look, I've never met this Tony, but shout out. Thank you for your support and listening. Appreciate it.
I have met Tony, but it was we haven't seen each other for a very long time. He lives on the other side of the country, so.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, we haven't spoken in quite a long time. But anyway, back to it. Now, also, there was something else I wanted to say, but I can't remember it now. So anyway, we figured we'd take our chaos overseas, and in the last episode, we were in Vegas. We talked all about our Vegas trip. This time we're in New York, and look, what happened in New York might need to be split into like two episodes or so.
Yeah.
Because we've got a lot to get through. I didn't realize, that we had so much to talk about until we started talking about it. But
yeah, I agreed. I was like, nah, surely this will be one episode. And then we started going through our list, and I'm like, oh, a lot actually happened in New York. And look, honestly, I don't know about you, but I don't remember the flight there. And I don't actually remember much of us arriving in New York. I believe we're probably still munted from Vegas. Like, how long are the flights?
I don't know. I'll look it up.
I do remember, though, asking the reception of our hotel for a bottle of water because I was clearly hungover and I needed some sort of liquids.
Yeah. So apparently it's a 5-hour flight. You'd think we'd remember that. But I guess you're right. We probably were still a bit munted. But 5 hours is a long time.
Really? Are you sure it's 5 hours?
That's what I'm thinking.
I thought it'd be like
Surely
1.5, 2 hours. I mean, like I said, we'd remember 5
We did
hours.
fly. Yeah, of course we flew. How else would we have done it?
Do you remember getting to the airport, leaving the hotel? I don't remember that at all.
No.
Look, it's not a surprise.
I remember being in Vegas airport, but that was like when we landed in Vegas. I don't remember going back there again.
I don't either.
Were we cooked?
Honestly, yes.
Wow.
As per our previous podcast, we were very cooked.
Well, yeah.
It was a big week in Vegas. But hey, look, we arrived in New York, so.
Yeah, and look, first things first, we had chores to do.
Always
because we usually do have chores at the start of our holidays. But we kind of just wanted to like wash our clothes, get some snacks, like that kind of stuff, because we were in a new location. Obviously, we ditched everything in Vegas that we had from before. So I do remember the hotel was on the same street as the laundromat, and also there was like a milk bar just around the corner. Now, unlike Vegas, New York is somewhere I would willingly go back to every time. And then, I'm in Vegas every fucking time. I figured that shit out. Anyway, I would willingly go back to New York, like, every single time I'm in the States, I want to be in New York just at least for a minute, a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
I think I've been 5 times now. I think when we go again, we're going again in July.
Yes.
So that's a couple months away from
Very
right
close,
now.
actually. Mm.
But yeah, I love New York, so I think that'll be my 6th time in New York when we go again this year.
Damn. I mean, I've always wanted to go to New York. It's always been on my list for the US, like the number one place I want to go. And it was great. Like, loved it. I'd go again. That's
Yeah.
it. Like, you know?
Now, I very much made all of the decisions when it comes to, those TikToks and Reels that you see where it's like, hi, I'm Kat and I planned the holiday. And it's like, hi, I'm Taz. Hi, I'm Kat and I organized all of the things that we did. Hi, I'm Taz.
Look,
Hi, I'm Kat and I booked and fucking paid
I
for all the
was
flights
gonna
and organized all of our finances in a joint bank account and I got our passports and did everything.
Can you imagine if I did all the organising for the holiday? Which,
No.
one day, can you let me? Just,
Yes, of course. I think it'll be hilarious. It'll be definitely an adventure, that's for sure. I won't have high
gotta
hopes for the
put
holiday.
more faith in me, mate. I can book a holiday. I know what I'm doing. I've
Mate,
learnt from you.
you know me, I'm easygoing, man. I'll do anything once.
Okay.
Anyway, so I made all the decisions of like where
Mm.
we were staying, where we were visiting, blah blah blah, whatever. I prefer to stay in a little suburb called Long Island City. It's in Queens. Now, maybe back in the day, maybe still, I don't fucking know. But people always freak out. When I say we're staying in Queens, everyone's like, oh my God, it's so dangerous, blah, blah, blah. And do you know what? It's funny because all the people saying that have fucking never been there, honestly. Um, but I never have felt unsafe in Queens. Like I said, I've been to New York so many times and I've
Mm.
stayed in Queens every time. From my first
I
visit till now, I'm
mm.
always in Long Island City
Look, I'm
or
so
Astoria.
oblivious to all of it. Like, even when I was talking to my coworkers, I'm like, "Hey, I'm going to America. Oh, cool. Are you going to New York? Oh, love that. Whereabouts? Oh, we're staying in Queens." They're like, "You're staying in? Do you want to get shot?" I was like, never.
Yeah.
Like, it's never. Like, I'm not worried. Even if someone, I can go into like the worst part of town. I'm like, yeah, cool. Like, I just
But
don't have
like,
a clue.
how lovely was everybody? Like,
Oh,
even, you walk
beautiful.
down the street, sure, they look like fucking crackheads, but they were fucking lovely. They were, like, hey, hello, God bless you, have a nice
I'm
day,
so
whatever.
thankful.
Like,
Like with all the
yeah.
resort in America, everyone was like, good morning," and like everyone was just so polite. And I'm
That's
like,
the way it should be, man. Like even to this day, if I'm walking down the street, I'll say like "hello, good morning" to like "good afternoon" to the person like walking past me. And the amount of times that people just look at me like, "who the fuck are you?" Like we're all just people, man. Say fucking
I
hello. Don't be
know.
rude.
I mean, I don't go out of my way to do that. But if someone if I walk past someone, they go, "Oh, good morning," I'll definitely say, "Oh, good morning" back. I'll always respond like back. But like,
Yeah,
I know it's weird because like it's just you think it's like a common like courtesy, friendly. We're all humans living in
and
the same
it
world,
used
right?
to be back in the day, and like now, I don't know. The world's shit.
Oh yeah,
Anyway. We took all our clothes down to the laundromat, we washed them. While we waited, we went to the milk bar, we gathered our snacks, and this is where Taz discovered fucking Fritos.
yeah. Look, I don't think I called them by their proper name for the longest time. I think I kept saying Fritos, and every
Yeah,
time they're
like
like, "Oh,
Fritos.
yeah,
Fritos. Like a Freddo frog.
yeah."
And I
Every
was like,
time,
that's not it. Stop calling them that.
I know, but I couldn't grasp the name. But like, they were and like, I don't know. I liked the original, like the plain flavor. It reminded me of like little mini Dorito chips, and they were so delicious. And I had like a vending machine in the
Yeah.
laundromat, and I was like,
They're
"Yep,
like
I'm staying here."
a corn chip, yeah. Like a
Yeah,
little flat. Some of them are little twisty, like twisty shaped, but most of them are
yeah,
little like flat squares.
so good, so good.
Little,
I
they look
think I
like animal pellets to me, but
I think
yeah,
I had them
they are
every
good.
day. I think I should
Yeah,
have stuck. I had them every day. Like I had a packet with me every day, and I was like, I can't not have these. I need these in my life.
yeah, definitely, 100%. Um,
100%.
100%. But I was low key stoked to go to the laundromat. One, because we could like wash all of our clothes, and
Yeah.
two, because I fucking hated carrying around all the damn coins. We had so many fucking coins,
That's
and I just
okay
loved
because
dumping them in the fucking machines.
I loved carrying around all those coins. I wanted
I
every coin you
know.
didn't want, and you thought I was a fucking freak. You're like,
And what are you doing with them now? What are they sitting in a fucking Ziploc bag in your bedroom doing nothing?
actually, no, they're
Exactly.
sitting. No, they're sitting in my little Vegas purse, ready to go for our next trip. Thank you very much.
Those fucking coins will be around the world. No, I fucking hate it. And servers must have fucking hated me because, like, whenever we needed to leave, like, a cash tip, I would just, like, I put the required amount, like, the 15% or whatever, the 17%,
No,
whatever the fuck it was, and then whatever was left, I would just dump the
you know
coins and just
how
leave
fucking
them there.
embarrassing that was. Just see you fucking splurt out a bunch of coins on
Who
camera. I thought, oh my god,
cares?
I
Money's
care.
money.
Nah, mate, don't do. That's so
They
fucking
have those
what?
little pouches. They can put it in there. They'll be fine.
Whatever, man. I was just like, please don't bring out all those coins. I'll just take them. So I end up with all your coins. But actually, I think did we have something planned? Enough about the coins. Did we have something planned on the first day? I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
we did, but it got cancelled. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It was fucking what's that what's that app called? Do you remember that app that we booked a bunch of stuff on? We booked that Grand Canyon trip on it. That like
TripAdvisor.
Viata app.
Yeah. I think
Anyway,
that's.
shout out to that app. Maybe we could get a sponsorship. Anyway, we had well, maybe not after this story, but we had we I don't think it was their fault actually. I think it was the actual place.
Yeah.
But we had booked these. It was like a cheese and wine
Oh,
yacht
that's
tour
right.
where you go
Yeah.
on like an old 1920s or 1930s like old yacht,
Yeah.
and they serve like unlimited cheese and like charcuterie type, snackies,
Yes.
and unlimited like, a
Wine
prosecco
and
or
beer or
something.
something or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like a sparkling wine because they
Oh,
called it like champagne and cheese or
yeah.
champagne, whatever the fuck it was. It probably wasn't real champagne. It was probably just like a whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And you go around the bay and then like around the Statue of Liberty and those islands, whatever those fucking islands are called.
Don't ask me. I have no idea.
Blah, blah, blah. I don't even know what they're called either. Fucking Liberty. Is one of them Liberty Island? Is that a thing?
You're asking me.
Anyway,
You're asking me. I don't even know the states of Australia, mate.
no, look, I'm not. When I go on like holidays and stuff, I'm not like super into like tourist attractions. Like,
Mm.
the Statue of Liberty wasn't like on my fucking thing that I needed to see. I saw it from a distance and I was like, yeah, hey, bitch, what's up? But I didn't need to be like up close and personal,
Hey,
like looking at
bitch,
her huge
what's
feet,
up?
Yeah, like it wasn't like a necessity for me to go see it up close.
Yeah.
So that's why we booked the cheese and wine yacht thing because it was
So you
like an
could see it.
experience as
Yeah.
well as actually just seeing the thing.
Mm.
And so the place contacted us and said, oh, it's cancelled due to whatever unforeseen
I don't remember
circumstances,
what it
whatever the
was
fuck it
cancelled for,
was.
but yeah.
It couldn't have been weather. It was the fucking middle of summer.
Nah.
Anyway, they cancelled it and they gave us like all these dates, like, hey, these are the dates we're running, like pick one and we'll rebook you for then. Obviously, all of the dates were no longer there. So unfortunately we had to just get our money back and cancel
Oh, I know.
altogether.
It was such a shame because I was really excited.
Yeah, I was too. But it was like our first day. It was whatever, and we got to see the Statue of Liberty anyway. We went down to like the 9/11 memorial, and we could
Yeah,
see
that's
it
right.
from the water there. So it
Mm.
wasn't like at the end of the world, but instead we had a backup plan. Well, I had a backup plan, and I took you to my fucking favorite place on planet Earth.
You know what? It's a place we called home for like the remainder of the New York trip.
Yeah, it's called now. I would fucking love a fucking Mad Donkey sponsorship. Tommy, hit me up. Tommy's the owner. Well, one of the owners. The Mad Donkey. It's like a beat up looking, like disheveled kind of hole in the wall kind of place. And I know that may not sound pleasing for those who might be listening, but hear me out. This place is like a classic, like old school type of like bar pub looking thing.
Mm.
And it's very well known to the locals. And the first time speaking of Tommy, the first time I was in there, I met him and I was like, we were chatting and he was telling me about, you know, his life, and we were just saying that we were, from Australia and blah blah blah, and
Yeah.
that's how I ended up like chatting to him.
Mm.
So yeah, hopefully he's around. Last time when we were there, he wasn't there, remember? He was overseas or
Yeah, I remember.
interstate or
Yeah, because I
he was
remember you
somewhere else.
asked, and they're like, "Oh no, he's actually overseas." Timing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the first time I went to that bar, it's honestly how I'd picture a bar to really look like. Because nowadays, like they're all modern, and look, it's all a lot of bars are nice now, like modern and all done up. But it was just really old school, like the old wooden floors. There was peanut shells on the floor, rustic bar stools. It kind of reminded me of like an old style kind of movie, and I know I just knew I was gonna like the place as soon as I stepped through the doors. I mean, come on, they had fucking free peanuts. Are you serious?
Mate, you were a fucking sucker for those peanuts.
Yeah.
At one point, I think you had gone over to like someone else's table and asked the other customers, "Are you gonna eat those peanuts?" And the bartender was like, I could just refill her bowl." And I was like, "Buddy, don't even worry about it. She's making friends. Just let her be."
I remember because I would just eat all the peanuts on our little table, and I'm like, oh, I need more peanuts. So I'd go around to all the tables. You gonna eat those? You gonna eat those? And they were great. They were like just natural peanuts. You unshell them, eat them. It was like it was just a vibe for me. And even better though, you could just fucking brush the shells on the floor. They didn't give a shit.
Well, I think they recommended that. I think they were like, because they didn't want the shells on the bar because they could like go onto like the wet area and like contaminate the drinks and shit.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Oh, can you just dust if you're opening the peanuts? Can you just put them on the floor?"
Yeah.
And I don't know. I remember like one time someone told me that the peanut shells are good for wooden floors. I
Hmm.
don't fucking quote me on that because I don't know if that was true or not, or if that was just a made up thing. But
Mm.
um, yeah, they say just put them on the floor because then it doesn't get
Mm.
in the bar area and it's not
Mm.
unsanitary.
You just see a massive pile of shells underneath my stool, and you just know that I've been eating all the peanuts.
Yeah, it's like you were
Um.
sitting on a nest.
I'm pretty sure you took a
Like nearly
photo.
up to your fucking knees. I
I
think I do
know
have a photo.
you do.
I'll have to dig it up and put it on the Instagram. Get it on the Instagram.
Yes. But not only that, like the drinks were really fucking good. I think we just mostly drank cocktails, but we drank the same cocktail because I only had one cocktail. I'm like, no, this is my favorite drink. It was called a Donkey Rita, and I think it was something like a margarita, but it was different. It's fucking amazing. Don't ask me what was in it though, because I have no phone idea. But it was perfection. And you had a cocktail called the Haterade, I think it was called.
Haterade. Yeah,
Mm.
it was blue. Like it was exactly like blue Powerade, but
Mm.
I think it was like a vodka cocktail of some kind. It was delicious.
Mm. It was just, oh no, the overall vibe at that bar was just so good. We met so many locals, we made some good friends, and even with the bartenders, like, we were buying them shots all night, and they would drink. Like, I didn't know, like, 'cause I feel like in Australia you can't do that because, like, you couldn't really buy the bartender a shot and they drink it. Like, they can't really work
Yeah, they can't
and
do
drink
that
them.
here.
But in America, they'll, like, happily taking the shots. I'm like, oh, okay. Like,
I mean,
just,
maybe they're not allowed to there. Maybe we're just like calling them out and getting them each.
sorry.
Sorry.
um,
But I found a lot of bars did that though. A lot of bars
we went,
accepted
yeah.
like because we bought shots for other bartenders at other bars and they
And
were
they,
fine
yeah.
about it too.
I think like there's like if it's a close knit kind of bar, they're like, look, don't get just staff wise, just don't get
Don't
fucking
get
obliterated.
wasted.
Yeah.
Can you
But
imagine? I'd go home obliterated every day if I worked at a bar there.
I know. I
I'd
think I'd
be
have more.
fucked.
I would be drinking more than the fucking customers if I'm being serious.
Yeah,
Um.
same.
But hey, they were
I feel
bombarded
like
by.
especially being Aussie, like that would encourage people to do it more and then
I
we just end
know
up being absolutely munted every day at work.
it would be some serious alcohol poisoning. But hey, it was great for them because I was bombarded by these fucking unstable Australians.
Yeah, and look, we became like somewhat of a fixture at that bar for the week that we were there. Like the locals knew that we were going to be there kind of every day. And so the people that we met would come back the next day just to like hang out with
Yeah.
us,
It
and
was
it
so
was really
good.
cool. Yeah.
And like it was like I think even like the locals were quite close, and it was like a very close knit kind of group in that pub, like, and they even had like even regular customers could bring their dogs in. Do you remember that little
Yeah.
puppy dog? What's his name?
Bodhi.
Yeah, he was like a French bulldog or something. He was so cute. He was sitting at the bar stool the whole time, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so cool.
Yeah, shout out to Bodhi. What a little cutie. You know, I actually still follow Bodhi and his owner on Instagram.
Yeah. Aw.
And I recently saw that Bodhi lost an eye.
Oh no.
Yeah, and I ended up messaging and I was like, "Oh my God, what happened to Bodhi?" And he was like, "Yeah, lost an eye, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Oh, that's tragic." I mean, at least he's all right. And
Yeah.
obviously, if he lost an eye, it had to go. Something was wrong with it. So,
Yeah. It was just a nice vibe. Now, whilst we're on our New York trip, coincidental or not, you up to you to think. One of our Australian friends was actually
up to you to think.
one one of our Australian friends was actually also in the USA at the same time as us. And funny enough, they were in New York City at the exact same time. So of course we
Mm.
tried our best to meet up with them. Like, how often do you run into one of your friends in another country?
Yeah. Now that's where the title comes in,
Mm.
the whole babysitting thing. Now,
Yes.
this was not a job that we wanted or asked for,
Mhm.
but we will dig into that just a little bit later. I want to
Mhm.
tell you a little bit about our friend. He's kind of like your stereotypical metalhead.
Mm.
Like he's got long black hair, he's covered in tattoos. I'm talking like chin to toes covered in tattoos. Like he's got full
Mm.
sleeves, throat tattoos, fucking shit on his legs, everywhere. I think Nathan Explosion from Metalocalypse, if you know who that is.
I have no idea who that is.
Okay. Well, he looks pretty much exactly like our friend,
Okay.
and wears like the exact same thing. Our friend only wears plain black t-shirts, blue skinny jeans, and black Converse shoes, and that is fucking it. Doesn't wear anything
That's
else.
that's right. And yes, so our friend had come to the US, but he also came with his father, which you'd think, oh, nice family trip.
No.
Now, no, I don't.
No.
I don't want to make assumptions or judgments here, but let's just say his father was very much heavy into the drinking alcohol.
Yeah, for breakfast and lunch and dinner and snacks and every other form of fucking intake, it was alcoholic. So I think he was pretty much like bound to the hotel room
Yeah, right.
because he was either too drunk to function or too hungover to go anywhere. Which was a shame because he was actually missing out on so much.
Oh, look. Now, I know you and I can get a bit wild because we do like our drinks, but
Of course.
we try to enjoy the moments as we go. Does it always work out that way? No. But this guy was just a lost cause. I
Yeah,
mean,
this was another level. This was like not functioning alcoholic levels
yeah.
of alcohol consumption.
Yeah, right. And we ended up meeting up with our friend at a bar in Manhattan. We decided to venture out, head to Times Square, because at that point, I don't think you and I had been to Times Square yet.
No, we hadn't. But we did. We headed out to Times Square, and look, that got really interesting really quickly. Of course, that's where the babysitting started.
Mhm.
Well, it started when we met up with our fucking friend, to be honest, but it got worse when we got to fucking Times Square. Our friend ends up getting mugged,
Mhm.
and then he's getting scammed and stood over by these people. Like there's like 4 or 5 people standing over him. I had to go intervene and like fucking say fuck off before these people scammed him more. Because they were basically just like, oh, give us money, give us money, give us money, and they were being like really aggressive and whatever. They
Yeah.
weren't gonna like hurt him, but
Yeah.
they knew they could get away with like taking stuff because they knew he was scared.
Yeah.
Um, so I just kind of went over and was like, "Hey guys, fuck off! Like, you're done. You've got enough. Go."
Mm.
And it was those people that try to sell you the fucking CDs. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if he even got a CD.
I
Anyway,
don't know.
um, Anyway, I went over, I intervened before he got scammed out of even fucking more money. His dad at this point was like way too drunk to function. He had started drinking before we even woke up that morning. He was
That's
at the
saying
bar.
something.
I think he was just literally at his hotel bar, like he didn't even like leave the hotel.
Yeah.
There was a crackhead on a bike who followed us for about 12 blocks fucking straight. So the whole day was just eventful, really. And like kind of not in a good way, but
Look, needless to say, you're right. The day was eventful. We ended up having some bevs at a bar somewhere again in Manhattan, as we do. And then this fun idea popped into our heads. Now, who was the mastermind behind this idea? Couldn't tell you, to be honest. Cat. But we were talking about shopping for
I don't think so.
clothes. He really wanted to buy our Aussie friend a new outfit. I don't think he was keen on the idea of us just saying, "Hey, let's buy you an outfit." But look, Kat can be very persuasive when she wants to be.
Yeah, and look, he did agree to it. And I think in the end, his words were, well, if you're paying for it, I don't care. Big mistake. Big mistake on his part. Instant regret.
Yes, because as soon as he saw our devious minds working in sync, he started to hesitate. But we picked out a fucking dope ass outfit, man.
Yeah, I'll have to find a picture. We'll put an emoji over his face or something. But
Yeah.
anyway, we'll get it on Instagram. But I'll set the scene for you. I'll lay it out. So it was a cream. It was a cream sweater with hear me out, multicolored monkeys all over it that we had wrapped around his shoulders like he was some kind of frat boy. Distressed denim short shorts and a hot pink t-shirt. We tied his hair in little space buns. But then of course the shopping trip was ruined because there was actually something that he did specifically want to shop for. And you'd think that it would be so easy to find considering the man only wears
No,
3 things.
no, it wasn't at all.
He wanted a plain black, non-branded sweatshirt. No hood, just a crew neck. First thing I found was a Champion one, and it was perfect. The branding was also black, and it was embroidered on the wrist of the sweatshirt. So I was like, that's fucking perfect. No one would see that. It's amazing. It's great. It's, exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah, it really wasn't.
No, he said no.
Which makes no sense because it was
It was
us that was
exactly
picking the
what he
outfit.
wanted.
Yeah, but it shouldn't have been up to him because we were the one picking the fucking outfit for him because we are paying for it. So I don't know why he's putting his 2 cents in. So
No, I think he did end up buying that on his own.
Yeah, well, so we spent 2.5 hours looking everywhere, up and down 8 floors of fucking Macy's, only for him to turn around and say, "Where's that Champion one you found, Kat?" And that was the one he. You're right,
Literally.
that one he bought. Yeah.
2.5 hours later, oh, where's that first one you had? I was like,
Mm.
you're fucking having a laugh. There's no way we've been up and down 8 floors of fucking Macy's for 2.5 hours looking for a fucking sweatshirt, only for you to want the one that I found in the first 2 minutes of us being here.
Yeah.
God, I could have fucking
I know.
killed him,
I know. I
honestly.
remember the look on your face.
And that was
You're
just
like,
day one.
I know. Now the next day, day 2, we urgently headed back to where our Aussie friend was staying. Now this is where, like, I mean, the babysitting had already begun, but this is where it really starts to ramp up.
Yeah, because we had all these messages from like mutual friends asking, hey, is he okay? He's not answering his phone. He sent some concerning messages to us, which was fucking weird because we literally just saw him the day before. Like, I'm talking not even 12 hours ago.
Yeah.
Because we literally went home, went to bed, we woke up relatively fucking early, and we'd got all these messages like through the night, and I was like, I swear it hasn't even been 12 hours since we last saw him. Like,
That's right, and
he
like,
was literally fine
yeah,
yesterday evening.
he was. And then we spent like the majority of the day trying to find him or trying to call him, message him. He wasn't answering. We even went to his hotel and asked the staff if they had seen him, and they even had to get security to unlock the door just so we could do like a wellness check.
Yeah, and like it was kind of frustrating because obviously all the people back home were like, "Hey, like you're there, can you
Yeah,
just go
exactly.
check?" And like they were harassing us about it, and we were like, "Well,
We're
what the
trying.
fuck?" Like, it pretty much wasted a whole fucking day fucking around trying to find all that, what's going on and shit. Finally, he answers, and it ends up just being some fucking girl drama with the girl that he was going to see. So he was in New York for like a week, same as
Mm.
us, or just under a week, maybe a
Yeah, I think
couple
it's
days
like that.
less, because
Yeah.
he arrived after us. Anyway, so he was going from New York to Seattle when we were going from
Yeah.
New York to Hawaii.
Yeah.
And he was going to Seattle to stay with this girl and meet this girl that he'd known like online through some fucking forum, whatever the fuck, I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know the whole law. But basically he was going to Seattle to see and spend the week with this girl or whatever. And I don't know why he was getting so worked up about her, because the stuff he did when he was in New York anyway, like, wasn't,
Ooh.
lining up with, I'm really
Yeah.
into this girl in Seattle. It was lining up with, I'll fucking do anything. You know what I mean? But, yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. Wasn't there like something involved, like a bag of some sort?
Oh, yeah, there was a $50 bag of cocaine involved, and I plead the fifth to everything that happened that night specifically. But um,
Hey,
there
that
was
wasn't
also
all.
something else, which
Yeah.
I wasn't referring to me specifically. I was referring to his
Yeah. Yeah,
his
because he was
Tinder expeditions.
That's right, because I remember him specifically planning a Tinder date.
Yeah, a date that we ended up going on
I
somehow.
know, of course.
Because she lived in some fucking neighborhood down in the fucking who knows where in Brooklyn. And he was like, "Oh, I'm too scared to go to Brooklyn by myself. Can you guys come and watch over and make sure I don't get murdered?" And we were like, "You're the one going on a date with someone from Tinder in a city you've never been to. What the
Was that
fuck,
the same
Chloe?"
chick who was like really upset about and was like MIA for a
No,
whole
no,
day?
no, no,
No.
no, no. That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. So
What?
he got all worked up and like fucking like having this fucking like whatever incident he had where he was sending fucking messages and not answering anyone and going on a fucking whatever over this girl that lives in Seattle, and then like the next day he's going on a date with some chick from Brooklyn. That's what I'm saying.
That makes no sense. Okay, this is not really a good way to like. I don't know what the word is, but like it's like getting upset because I couldn't go to McDonald's today and I'm pissed off, but tomorrow I'm going to a 5-star restaurant.
I mean,
I'm trying to like compare. I don't know. Maybe that's not how it is,
I
but
know what you're trying to get at.
probably the wrong analogy. I don't know what the word is. Anyway, forget I said that. So we're like, shit. Okay, we'll go. Whatever. I've never been to Brooklyn. He just says to us, just blend in the background, pretend you're not there. Easy enough, right?
Well, you would have thought so until we walked in and literally everyone in the place turned around and looked at us because we were the only fucking white people in there.
Yep.
And we're not just regular white people. Like, we are the whitest white people.
You know what? I
And
swear.
we
No.
definitely...
No. Let me speak. I'm sick of you
Yeah.
interrupting. I swear to God, ever since I have met you, I have never been in more situations that feel like it's a scene from a movie. I feel like I'm an unpaid extra in a sitcom, a job that I didn't want or apply for.
Well, I wouldn't say unpaid.
What do you mean?
I think you get paid in like experiences and gifts sometimes and the
Name a gift.
occasional meal and some drinks,
What
like
gift?
it's not totally unpaid.
So what gifts? Can you
It's
give me
not
an
like you're doing
example?
charity. Like, gifts.
Gifts.
The gifts that I get you, yeah.
Such as?
Like, I don't know, maybe the trip that we took to the Whitsundays and like, your Converse and your necklace and, they're nice gifts and you wouldn't have had them if you hadn't met me.
Okay, alright.
So the payoff is you have to be an unpaid extra in my sitcom of a life. And
Oh, gosh.
those are the rewards that you get.
Yeah, I don't remember that being in the
Friendship.
contract, but anyway.
I don't remember there being a contract, but anyway. So look, we're trying to act as normal as fucking possible in this random local fucking neighborhood dive bar deep in the fucking heart of Brooklyn where we were very fucking out of place. And like, I'm not being racist when I said that we were like the only white people in there. Like it was a very fucking like it was very clear that we were not supposed to be there.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
fact that everyone turned around and looked at us like, what the
They
hell are they
actually
doing here?
did. As soon as we walked into that bar or whatever restaurant, it just you could tell majority of people just turned around and was like, "Are you in the right place?" And we're like, "Oh,
Even the
no."
bartender, when we ordered drinks, was like, "So you've never been here before?" And we were
Yeah,
like, "No, we haven't." And he's like, "Yeah, I know."
I noticed.
Because I
Yeah.
would know if you had.
Yeah. But look, surprisingly, even though we came there to babysit and watch our friend go on his Tinder date, it actually was an alright night. Like, actually, it was actually quite. Everyone was like, even though we felt out of place, like no one was rude or anything, and
Oh,
food was
everyone was
alright. Drinks were
lovely.
good. Yeah. And look, from what I know, the date went really well. Although he did end up going home alone to his passed out dad.
Oh, I was gonna say not totally alone. Home to his dad. Um, I guess lucky for him though, his dad wasn't going with him to Seattle.
Oh, imagine.
So his dad ended up leaving like a little bit before him. So
Mm.
on his dad's last day, we tried to like get him out and about and see some stuff before he went home, which in itself was a fucking struggle, to be honest.
Oh yeah. Look, like you said, we really because like it was like the last day or so, and like you said, and we thought you come all this way, like at least come out and see fucking something other than the bar, you know. Because he had not left the fucking hotel room, and he came all this way with his son, and I don't know. We went to some sort of like little pop up market on a random street, and look, I think his dad tried to engage a little bit, but he was just not interested most of the time.
Didn't we go to the Hard Rock Cafe with him?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we went to lunch. I'm pretty sure we went there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get it. Like, who travels across the world, you know?
Yeah, I don't think so either. And that was like the only time that he was like, dragging his feet while we were walking around and while we
Yeah.
were trying to show him stuff and do things. And then the only time that he perked up was like, oh, we're going to go to the Hard Rock Cafe. And like, he kind of perked up because he knew there was a bar there. Like that was
Yeah.
the kind of vibe that we got from the whole fucking thing. But
Mm.
yeah, I mean, I don't get it either. Like, he literally sat in the hotel room, either drinking booze that he'd bought, like, from the bottle shop, or he went down to the hotel bar and was drinking there.
Right?
And then he would just get blackout drunk and then go back up to the room and, like, fall asleep, pass out, wake up the next day hungover, go back to drinking again.
I don't know. You could do that. Just do that shit at home, you know? Like, look, anyway, I think it was time when he was going, like, about to leave to go fly home. I don't know how he managed to get to the airport. I just think our Aussie friend just chucked him in a taxi, sent him on his way, hoping that he was at least coherent enough to get, coherent enough to travel. But hey, it's not my fucking circus and not my monkeys.
Yeah, look, who knows if he made his flight or missed it, but there was someone that did miss their flight. Does the audience want to take a guess at who?
Surprisingly, it actually wasn't me.
No, it was our fucking dumbass friend. He slept through his alarm. By the time he woke up, his flight was already an hour in the air. He's a fucking dumbass. I'm pretty sure his message was to me and along the lines of, so my flight left and I'm still in bed at the hotel. And I was like, you're joking.
I remember you telling me that. I was like, you're not, you fucking kidding me. Like, get over it. So, he missed his flight. He was stressing. He needed to work out how he was going to get to, I think, Seattle. Again, he was going. Now, naturally, I think it was us. He asked or whatever. We offered that he can stay with us while he sorted out his flights. Now,
No,
mind you,
I think he asked.
yeah, nah. Look, I do think he asked, and look, we weren't even staying in the most spacious room. It was only like a small room. It was a double bed. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's also important to note that our friend kind of did this trip on like a bit of a whim and didn't
Right?
really have the funds for it. And we spent a lot of money covering for like his share of stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
drinks, food, and stuff all the time that he was with us. And him staying an extra night in our bed was not on our itinerary.
No, fuck no.
But look, the unexpected can sometimes be a fun challenge.
Yeah, it was, and it was. Now you think about it, it was quite a lot of additional money we had to put out between the two of us to cover him. Because you're right, I'm pretty sure he didn't really put much money or thought into planning this trip.
Yeah.
He'd already had like kind of rough time with his dad there because it wasn't like he didn't expect it to go that way with his dad, and he had missed his flight. He was kind of feeling a bit shit. I'm like, I kind of felt bad, so I was like, oh, we'll just do what we can to make him, have a good time at least.
Yeah, and look, I didn't mind it, either. Of course, I'm always happy to help a friend in need.
Mm.
And we had the means for it. We were both doing pretty well financially at the time, so it wasn't like a huge issue for us.
No.
I guess what kind of bothered me the most was that there wasn't really like a thank you or any like acknowledgement.
Mm.
Now I don't care if you can't pay us back. It's not about the money,
No.
but like I guess a thank you would have just gone a long way.
I agree. I'm very much on the same page with you because
And and look, we don't do things for the thank you,
no.
but it is noticed when there isn't one.
Yeah. Oh,
Because you
without a
kind of
doubt.
feel like you're doing all this stuff and like looking after them and paying for them and doing all this shit, and then they just like don't even acknowledge that you've done anything.
Mm.
It
Exactly.
it kind of feels like you're used a little bit, but
Yeah. I don't know. Like, again, it's not like, oh, I'm keeping tally of how much you owe me money wise. It's like, I don't care, It's more like, hey, thank you so much for everything. That's all. That would have gone a long way, in all honesty. We just wanted to make sure he had a good time, whatever. I don't know. But
Yeah, and look, like I feel like it's just because that's who we are. Like if
yeah.
I had gone on this trip and like didn't have any money and you shouted me for most of it, I would pull you aside and be like, "Hey, I just want to say thank you so much for, making
Yeah.
sure that I had a really good time, and I know you spent a lot of additional money and it's not something that I can pay you back, but I did just want to say thank you." And I feel like that in and of
Yeah.
itself is like enough sometimes.
Exactly. Agreed.
Now, all of what we just discussed was a very quick, brief overview of the trip.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this episode's already a little bit long, so we're going to have to cut it short. But
Yeah.
in the next episode, we'll go into a little bit more detail. So if it feels like we're jumping back and forth a bit in this episode and the next episode, it's because we've kind of we've just got so much to talk about, and so we're going to dive into some more specific parts in the next one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this was kind of the overview, and then in the next one we'll chat more in detail.
Yeah. Like we said at the beginning, we didn't realize how much there was to talk about in New York until we actually started making a list. And look, I can't believe all of this shit happened in a span of 1 week. I don't know how, like I said this already, in a different term, of course, but I don't know how my quiet little life turned into this insanity that you live in. And I don't know how you live in it because it's fucking batshit crazy.
Yeah, I feel like, you always hear stories of we all have that friend who just lives this fucking life that's
Yes.
insane. But I feel like it's not quite like mine.
No.
Shit just keeps happening to me. I
Always,
can't explain it,
bro.
man.
I don't
I don't
know
know.
why it's always
And
you.
now that you're here, shit just keeps happening to you.
Yes.
And I think it's
By
funny,
default.
but honestly, I think it all stems from my family. I think my family's bonkers. And we're wrapping this season up anyway. And in the next season, we're going to go into a little bit more detail about that. And I think it's all going to come full circle. And I think everyone is going to start putting the pieces together. And I think a lot of things are going to start making sense as to why I am the way that I am.
You know what? No, because it does not make sense to me still at all.
You've met my family.
No, I
Surely
have.
that answers some questions
Look,
for you.
it does answer some questions. I think the first time I met your mum, I was like, oh my god, I know she's very different to you. I'm like, yep.
Oh my
That
god,
makes
it all makes sense.
It all makes sense. But anyway, look, tune into the next episode for more craziness that happened in New York. Thank you so much for listening. And we'll hear from you then. Well, you'll hear from us then.
All right, bye.
Bye.